Hello everyone, welcome. In this episode, I'm going to talk about obstacles that is keeping you poor. I'm going to cover what are the obstacles, how do you overcome the obstacles, and some additional tips covering this subject. Okay, let's get into the obstacles. There are 12 obstacles. There's no particular order, but I think there's a couple of obstacles which I want to expand a little more. So the first one is lack of financial information. So I would say that probably is the most important, or at least one of the top important is if you don't know what's out there, you will not know how to get there. Okay. So I came from India. My parents worked two jobs for most of their life. They worked really hard. It just didn't know there are better opportunities or better ways of working. Elon Musk and a grocery store guy probably works the same amount of work, but look at where Elon Musk is and the grocery guy. There's nothing wrong being a grocery guy, but I'm just saying there are other options, better risk and better rewards. So understanding the financial system or understanding what finances are and other things is very, 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 very important. So that understanding will change the mindset and then cultivate different way of thinking. So some of the basic skills such as budgeting, investment, finance terms, taxes and other things, which we keep hearing all the time, but very few people try to understand, or at least people who are new to this, you want to have some understanding about those kind of things. This could be many reasons why people don't know, lack of education, from different circumstances, a different background, a different country. So whatever the circumstances are, the technology is a leveling plane right now. So all you have to do is have a Wi-Fi and go to one of thousands of YouTube videos just like mine, who are teaching about their experiences about how to grow rich and make money, or how do you invest, budget, and do other things. Okay, that's number one. I feel of all the 12 things I want to cover, the financial education is probably the first way. So if you know that, then we can find answers how to get those things. Number two is fear of failure. Often you need to take some risk to grow money, but the fear can be paralyzing for a lot of people. So as I said, covered in the first point, not understanding is probably 80% of that. I would say, let's say 70%, but that's a majority, and the 30% is you don't know what the future holds. Sometimes taking risk is too paralyzing. So fear of that's probably is one of the biggest obstacle. Number three, as I said, it's like these are not in the right order. Number three is procrastinating and lack of focus. Okay, so the typical example I can give you is January and February, the gym is full of people trying to lose weight or get into a good shape. But as it starts to May, March, and going forward, there's less and less people. The lack of clear goals, lazy or procrastination, all of those kind of things which people are excited for the very short amount of time and then it drops down is part of people not making a lot of money. So people want to make money, but they don't want to put in the hard work or the necessary skill and the discipline needed over a long period of time. Especially making money takes decades, if not more. Number four, which is self-limiting beliefs or negative thoughts. This is probably the number two. The number one is lack of knowledge. The number two is the most important, in my opinion, is the self-doubting negative aspects. So you're always thinking yourself, I'm not good enough. This is not meant to be. There must be some other trick. All the fantastic good reasons we give ourselves not to grow falls under this category. So I just want to expand a little more on this system. Okay, number one. I mean, within the negative mindset, I think the one thing I've kept hearing, I've read books and talked to people is the scarcity mindset. So people are always afraid of the wealth is very limited. There's always competition. You have to lose to get something. So that scarcity mindset is crippling in its way. So there is more than one way to earn the money, and then there is enough wealth for everybody. So you need to understand and then believe that there is enough wealth, and it's not a small pie where everybody is trying to share. Wealth can be generated. You can be productive. You can come up with new ideas. There is more than one ways to generate wealth. There is no you don't have to be in that competition, or you don't have to think about that's the only way. Okay, so that mindset is important. So the scarcity mindset is a limiting factor for you to make more money. So other thing people think about is the fear of success. So people might think that the success might change them. It is not something what they like. They've seen others change, and it's just the whole concept of the success can change them or will be a different person can sometimes limit you from achieving more. Okay, fear of success. Some people, a lot of people see money as an evil. So there's more and more examples of people portrayed in movies, real life stories, and other things. Money is a tool. So it's up to you how to use the tool. You need that tool or the resources to buy you freedom and do other things. So if you want to do charity, if you want to do more better for everything else, first thing, have the money. So uh, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you don't think money is evil. So people believe that money is evil, which is, in my opinion, is a total bullshit. So usually poor people say that. So don't get into that mindset of money is bad. You can earn money and use it for a really great cause. A low self-worth is another big problem. So for when I was in my early 20s, coming from India, having an accent, and all those things, I was a bit self conscious about my worth. That kind of stopped me from asking better opportunities, better pay hike, better bonus, and other things. You have to believe in yourself, and that's one of the reasons why people are not pushing themselves to get better or ask more things. So, other random beliefs on money. Money is evil is one of them. Rich people are evil. Money will bring unhappiness, and all those mental, subconsciously it acts on your body or on your mind to stop you from making more money. So every time we come up with a new challenge or a new goal, there's always good reasons why we tell we can't achieve that. Okay, and one of those, some of the reasons, the smarter you are, the smarter you are, the smarter the reasons you come up with why you shouldn't be making money or why there's different reasons why the money shouldn't be done. So self-limiting or believing about money as an evil or a different way of thinking about money, which is not a good thing, is one of them. So there is comfort zone. People are set in their ways. They don't want to move outside. That's another good reason why people stay in the same job for many years, same place in many years, same house, same job, same friends. People are comfortable in their zone and they don't want to, all they expect is bad things to happen on the other side. So being comfortable with the chaos or trying to get out of the comfort zone is a key in part of making financially independent. So there is another security, attachment of security. So they rather have some secure job which they know they can survive till 65, 70 than the risk of opening themselves to something more different or financially risky, which might have asymmetric rewards or more potential, but the security of what they have, it's very close to a comfort zone, but it's just they are comfortable with the security they have and they don't want to change any of those things is another reason. So there are other few of other things you can hear about the negative scripts which you keep hearing the money. It's too hard to do. It's true, sometimes it's too hard to do, but it's a worthwhile pursuit. It is impossible for my skills and other things. So there is a lot of self-doubt and self-reasoning why we keep telling ourselves. These are all subconscious handcuffs which keeps us from getting better at becoming financially independent. Okay, so self-limiting factors and negative aspects probably is number 2 or number 1 priority for me in terms of these are the obstacles stopping you from getting rich. Number 5 is limited resources. So depending on where you are, there's always limited amount of money. So it takes money to make more money. That is true. You need to invest a certain amount of money for it to earn compound interest or interest over a period of time. You need a certain amount of money or a seed money to put into a business. When you're young, your capital is time, but as you grow, you need to you'll have less time but a little more money. So that's a limiting resource. So how do I manage day-to-day bills while I'm still trying to invest is a different video, but having less resources is another way limiting factor or an obstacle from making more money. So number 6 is lack of planning. So Simon Sinek is a guy I've been listening. So he explained a goal setting better than everybody else. So imagine if I tell you to go diagonally across the room, you know where you're going. I put in a couple of chairs or tables, you know either you can go left, right, or over it to reach that goal. Even if I put a mountain in center of the room, it might take you a while, but you know where you're going and it will be fine. For somebody who doesn't have a goal, those table chairs will become a massive obstacles. So even though you can always fine tune your goal, but knowing where you're going, or at least understanding this is what I need to achieve, a $500,000 or $750,000 or $1 million is a goal you need to have, and then you can think about how to get there. Every time a curveball you get a curveball, you can plan, adjust. You might have to downsize, do multiple things, but you know where you're going. It's very, very important to have a clear goal. As year progresses, the goal can be changed or tweaked or adjusted to circumstances, but you need to have some sort of goal, I feel, as an important part of the growing equation. So number 7 is some people might be in debt. High interest debts you want to pay off first. It's sucking on all the savings what you have to investment. So you want to make sure you pay the debt. It might take you 2 years or 3 years, depending on your circumstances. But those are the kind of things you want to do first before making any money. But having an understanding that these needs to be paid comes as a part of the financial education. So how do I prepay high interest loan, high interest debt, and then you can start investing. Some of the people, number 8 is they might have health issues. This is unfortunate. So I'm talking about most of the people in a first world country who's got enough hands and limbs and a mental capacity. I feel they can earn money. Okay, there are some people are disadvantaged. They are physically disadvantaged. That's a sad thing. But if you are, I can't say that I understand. But I'm hoping that people watching my videos and other things are you guys are mentally and physically capable of doing things. But those are the obstacles some people have, and unfortunately, I haven't thought about what or how somebody who's physically challenged needs to be done. Number 9, lack of networking or lack of understanding. So you need some people. There's an example is if you talk to somebody who hasn't bought a single property and ask him, how do I buy 10 properties? He will laugh at you or will think that he will convince you that it is impossible. But if you talk to somebody who has 20 or 30 properties, they will tell you how to approach or how to go about doing those things. You don't go to a doctor without a degree. You don't go to a lawyer without a degree. But when it comes to financial advice, we are asking people who don't have money. So you want to make sure that you're asking the right people. They're educated and they're qualified to answer those questions. Okay. So when you are in this process, talk to people. Ask, this is what I'm trying to do, and then you'll get a sense of answer. If they haven't done it, stop asking those people. Ask questions to better people, or start with reading books or YouTube and podcasts and other things. So making sure that you don't ask the wrong person is also very important. It's difficult enough to bring your willpower high enough to, it's difficult to be motivated. You don't want to bring that motivation down by talking to random people who are in no business to be giving you advice. Number 11, and this probably is the last, is market fluctuations. So you might have the best plan, but the market will do what it does. Recent examples, COVID, Ukraine war, right now, Israel, Palestine. The markets are not performing really well, but there are some outliers which are doing well. These are the things which you can't control. So having an understanding and having that moral resistance or a moral the strength to do it for a long period of time, because this is not a short game. Making money takes few people get rich very quickly, but that's a very, very small percentage. Most of the normal average people like me and you, I'm hoping, it will take decades. So I've been investing for over 15 years now. It's only, I know that I'm getting comfortable, and the next 10, 15 years, I'm going to be more comfortable. But it takes time. Making sure you can ride the waves of market fluctuation and other random things going on is very, very important. So these are probably the 11 obstacles which are standing in your way from you becoming rich. So list out all these uh, obstacles and then point out what are those obstacles within that, and then we can think about that. Okay. Part two is how do I avoid or how do I overcome these obstacles? These are so upskill and invest in yourself. So if you are working on a minimum pay, then what skills or what community college or what short course I can do to increase your pay? That's your mentality. Should be always, can I do something better for a very short amount of time or short amount of course or a small amount of money to be paid on a course to increase your level. That's number one. You're always upskilling. So if you are in a field for a very long time, what I'm doing at the moment is my salary gets saturated, but at the moment I'm contracting. So the same skill, but on a contract, pays you more. The downside is it's risky because every 6 months I might have to change the job. But the upside is in 6 or 7 months, I earn almost as the same as a year's worth of salary. So when you think about it, it's not a big downside, but you need to look for your job. You have to go through interviews, more interviews than you want to, and you'll always have to be in an uncomfortable place. But you have to upskill and then get yourself in a better position. Okay, that's probably one of the ways to avoid obstacle. Developing a positive mindset. So I can't say enough about developing a positive mindset. First of all, you got to believe that there are better opportunities. So there is a saying, an ancient saying, a bird sits on a thin branch, not worrying about the branch breaking, is because it doesn't believe in the tree or the branch. It believes in its capability that it can fly away if something happens. Okay, so that should be the mindset. There are more and more people like Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, and other multiple interviews. People are much more qualified talking about having a positive mindset. So, but I have a positive mindset is by doing random fear setting exercises. So I generally, if there's something which is I'm afraid of, I'm worried about taking a risk, I generally put it down on the paper and then think about it. If it's is it real or is it actually just in my head? So those are the ways I try to cut down negative thoughts, and then positive thoughts is just by having a long-term discipline to invest regularly and having those big changes. Taking calculated risk is probably the third thing you want to do. Especially in finance, taking no risk is probably the riskier option. So let me repeat again. Taking no risk is probably the most riskier option. So you want to take some risk, diversify, put into an index fund. There are other videos which I'm explaining, but you want to take some risk, put some money in, invest into certain companies. That's the way you want to do it. So there is no, if you want average returns, you do average things. If you want to get above average returns, you want to do above average things. So you want to take risk, but a calculated risk comes from education, talking to the right people, and then having that discipline over a long period of time. Okay. So number fourth is build a network, build a group of people who are like-minded like you. It could be books or on a Twitter or on a YouTube or a community, wherever you can find. Start engaging and then just talk to people who have done it, and then so that you can avoid those same mistakes. Especially books are a great place where if you are introvert, books, YouTubes, there's more than one ways in this day and age to be engaged with somebody who thinks about you, or somebody who's trying to walk in your steps or in the walking step. So building that network gives that motivation. So it's very easy to feel down. You need people to help you or keep you in check, and then check on you regularly to make sure that you're going on your goals. Okay, that's a very important thing. Number 5, as I said, improve your financial literacy. Whichever field you are, you want to understand things like concept like budgeting, your taxes, better ways of investing, having multiple checking account, saving account, investment account, what to invest in. There's an n number of things, irrespective of what you earn. You want to level up from your financial and literacy, and that will make sure that will leapfrog in coming years. Okay, so probably these are the ways, 5 things you want to help avoiding those obstacles. Okay, and there's a few more tips I want to talk before I finish this video. Number one is stop comparing yourself with others. Everybody else is in a different timeline or a different zone. Some people might have some inheritance, some people might have parents who are helping them out, or just different circumstances and other things. Everybody has their own different story. Don't get carried away by the fancy photos and other things you see on social media. Social media is just it's a crude mirror of people portraying that they're doing well, really well. Okay, um, keeping up with Joneses is a very, very difficult thing. Stop comparing with others. Probably is the number one thing you want to be aware of, and then catch yourself if you're getting drifted by seeing what others are doing. Have realistic goals. So if your salary is 50, 60,000, your goal should reflect that salary. As the salary increases, then the goal can go up. You can't be on a 50, 60,000 and then expect the retirement pot to be 10 million or 50 million or other things. So have realistic goals and then work towards it and then see how you can improve that. And number three is try getting multiple sources of income. So if it's just you, is there a way I can get some side hustle? In my case, I do real estate, I do painting, I do YouTube. I've got a 9 to 5 job. And as I said, in 9 to 5 job, to increase my pay scale, I'm doing contract works because it gets paid more. There is different ways you can have slightly better pay than what you're doing. And then more than one pay is what you're trying to achieve. So you want to have multiple sources of income where while you're sleeping, there is more things to do. Okay. So these are the 3 things I would say as an additional tip, what you want to be doing to manage or excel in your finances. Okay. Hope this video was useful and then at least triggered some of the things what get you out of the mindset. Till next time, keep hustling and have fun. Yeah, have a positive thought. Bye. Thanks.